Hi there, this is Danny with End Time Country Living, and on this video I am working on getting at least one of my tools, the handle protected by linseed oil. So one of the things that it's a good idea to do at least once a year is to coat any of your wooden handles with a boiled linseed oil. This helps to protect the wood from cracking and getting dried out, and also gives a nice finish to it and protects it from water getting in there, and so protects it from rot as well. So this is one of my hoe handles. This is for my little stirrup hoe here, and so this is a handle that I made from a piece of maple, and it's getting kind of dried out here and needs another coat here in the spring. And so I'm going to just kind of show you quickly how to coat your handles. Now, one of the things is that you need raw wood in order to put it on, or if you buy a handle and it has a lacquer finish on there, you want to go ahead and remove that lacquer finish before you try to apply another finish on there, such as an oil, because the oil won't penetrate the lacquer very well. And so that's one thing that you can do. And it kind of darkens the handle as well, and it gives it a nice look to it as well. And so if you like the lacquer finish, go ahead and keep that if you like it. It kind of has a kind of a plasticky, sticky feel to it that I don't really care for. I like more of a smooth handle, but it's more of an oil finish, but that's kind of personal preference. Nothing particularly wrong with the lacquer finish, other than it can get scratched and get damaged over time, and just can tend to not look very good if you leave it out in the rain a lot over several years outside where it can get exposure to rain. It can look kind of icky. So one thing you could do, so basically if you want to remove the lacquer, best way is to get like a pocket knife, and you want to use it at a perpendicular to the handle. So you want to just put it like this. You don't want to be gouging or scraping it like that. You just want to go like this, and you just kind of do a scraping motion like that. So that's how you remove the lacquer. Just kind of have to do it to the whole thing. It does take some time, so be aware of that. But anyway, that's the best technique that I've used to not clog up whatever you do. If you use like sandpaper, the sandpaper clogs up easily and it doesn't work very effectively. And what else have I tried? Steel wool doesn't work very well. That definitely gets plugged up with it. And so best way is to have something that is a blade, something that's you could use a piece of broken glass too if you wanted to, I suppose. But a pocket knife is probably the safest way to do it effectively, and just keep that perpendicular to the thing, and scratches it off nicely, and you can go back and forth and kind of smooth out the area. And maybe you could hit it with some sandpaper at the end if you wanted to kind of smooth it out. But anyway, let me get to showing you how I'm going to apply this, how I found the best way. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to apply it and about how much, and some of the methods that I use. So when you're dealing with the boiled linseed oil, most of the time there are petroleum products in there, so you want to protect your skin and not just rub it on your hands and get it all in your hands, because the petroleum will soak into your hands and is kind of harmful to your body over time if you get too much of it. So I like to go ahead and just wear some easy to put on rubber gloves that I can wash easily with soap and water when I'm done. You could also use some like latex gloves that are more tight fitting if you like those. Welcome to use those as well. So go ahead and take the cap off here. And the best way, rather than trying to pour some in my hand and rub it all over here because it tends to waste a lot, I just use a toothbrush and go ahead and tip it and look inside and see where the level is. And I just go ahead and dip it in there until I can see, and then turn it over so the bristles are pointing up, and use this as my application method. So I'm just kind of rub it back and forth and rotate it and work it into some of the cracks there. And Try to keep it from running here, back and forth. And just get a nice, good soaking in there, and then before it dries completely, we'll go ahead and wipe it clean so there isn't a sticky residue. This will produce a sticky residue as evident from the sticky gelatinous drippings that it produces. So that's kind of what it'll turn out to be on your handle if you let it dry completely without making sure there aren't any excess on there. And so it goes fairly quickly. Usually get several handles out here at once and get them all done. Just let it dry somewhere in the open air outside, lean it up against your house or something like that if it's kind of rainy out and you need to get it done. But wait for a sunny day when you can be outside and have a nice, enjoy the outdoors while you're doing this. It certainly makes the handle look nicer and have a nice feel in your hands, as well as protecting it from the weather. And especially over here where you're dealing with the head of whatever tool you're doing. Try to get some down inside there that'll help protect it. So you can stand it up on in there and let some drip down inside. Or you can take the head off and coat it and then put it back on if you'd like to do that. So, yep, almost got it done here, so it goes pretty quick. Finish it up here. My dad always used to do this with all his tools. And he'd had them all lined up outside, and he'd rub them all down with boiled linseed oil, and always thought it smelled nice and looked nice on the tools. Always good memories of doing that. Just got finished up here. Of course, the end, if you have any end grain, some handles are rounded on the end, but if you have a tool with a end grain like this in here, you want to go ahead and make sure it soaks down inside there. Put some more in there, and a little bit more soak in there. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to some of my other tools here. Here's some examples of kind of what it looks like after it's been done for several years. It'll kind of give a darker tone to the wood and kind of give, I think, a very beautiful look to it. Very natural and organic look to it. And so I've done that with some of my shovel handles here. There's another one that put boiled linseed oil over the years. Could probably use another coat this spring here. And here's an example of a shovel that had a kind of a lacquer finish on there that still needs to be removed, that I haven't put linseed oil on this one yet. And so it definitely has a lighter color to it, but the texture is kind of has a very it's kind of weird. It's kind of a sticky, slippery, well, not really slippery, but smooth and a little bit sticky. And it's not something that I really care for. So anyway, I still need to go ahead and take this off when I get some time. All right, well, that's about all I have for you on this video. Thanks so much for sticking around to the end and watching this. I hope this was useful information to you. And so it's important to take care of our tools. And so, keeping the heads washed after you use them. When you get dirt on them, go ahead and have a brush by a faucet or something like that you can then scrub it down, get it wet, and scrub it down, and then rinse it and get all the dirt off there, because the dirt on the shovel will eat away and rust the head fairly quickly. And so it's important to keep our tools in good working order and looking nice. And same goes for the handles, to be able to protect those and have them for many generations. All right, well, thanks for watching again, and if you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up on the video if you like it, and click the other one if you don't. And also you may want to click that bell next to the subscribe button, so that way you get notifications of new videos that I put out. All right, I will see you on the next video.